Hello friends, welcome to my channel Welding and NDT. Our today's topic is plasma arc welding. So in this video we will learn the basic working principle of plasma arc welding and we'll learn the equipments used, the different equipments which are used during plasma arc welding, and we'll also learn the advantages and disadvantages of plasma arc welding. So let's start this topic now. Before starting the topic, I would like to request you to please subscribe my channel if you have not done yet. So please subscribe my channel and also hit the like button if you really like this video, and share this video with your friends and colleagues too. So let's start the topic. Friends, here as you all know that plasma arc welding is essentially an arc welding process. And in arc welding generally an electric arc is produced, and that arc is sufficient enough to produce the required heat for welding. So in plasma arc welding, the arc is generated by a constricted arc. Let me write it down: constricted arc. The arc is generated by a constricted arc between non-consumable electrode, this is non-consumable electrode, and workpiece. So the constricted arc is generated between a non-consumable electrode and workpiece. Friends, here whenever we discuss plasma arc welding, instead of arc we use this term constricted arc. Constricted as nothing but a very focused and narrow arc. So this narrow arc or very focused arc is produced between non-consumable electrode and the workpiece. Here one more thing I would like to tell you, that plasma arc welding is essentially an extension. Please remember this, that plasma arc welding is essentially an extension of TIG welding process or gas tungsten arc welding. So this is, rather telling extension, we can also use the term modification. So this is a modified version of TIG welding. So like TIG welding, here also we use a non-consumable electrode, and that non-consumable electrode is made up of tungsten. So in plasma arc welding also we use a tungsten electrode. We use a tungsten non-consumable electrode. So here, but a very different technique is used to deliver the heat if we compare TIG welding. So I'll tell you something about the torch. The plasma arc welding torch is somewhat different from TIG welding torch. See here, this is the diagram of a plasma arc welding torch. And in plasma arc welding torch, we have two nozzles. One is the inner nozzle. See, this one is the inner nozzle, and the other nozzle is the outer nozzle. So we have two nozzles. Plasma arc welding torch contains two nozzles. First one is inner nozzle and the second one is outer nozzle. The inner nozzle contains the orifice gas, and the outer nozzle contains the shielding gas. Friends, what happens? The orifice gas is a neutral gas, or inactive gas is used as orifice gas. What happens? This electrode produces arc, and this arc hits the orifice gas, and due to the heat, this arc, the atom in the orifice gas, electrons leave their atoms, and when electrons leave their atoms, this gas becomes ionized. One more thing I would like to tell you, that plasma. Here this term plasma is used. So what is a plasma? For those who don't know, let me tell you very briefly that plasma is nothing but the fourth state of matter. Fourth state of matter. See, essentially we have three state of matter. First one is solid, second one is liquid, and third one is gas. So we have three states of matter, but plasma is the fourth state and it exists somewhat between liquid and gas. So plasma is the fourth state and this is nothing but ionized gas. So this fourth state of matter, which is known as plasma, is nothing but the ionized gases. Ionized gases are known as the plasma. So what happens? This electrode arc which is generated by this electrode hits the orifice gas and this orifice gas becomes ionized. How? Just due to heat, the electrons leave their atoms and this gases becomes ionized. So this ionized gases emanates or comes out from the nozzle as plasma jet stream. Plasma jet stream. So plasma emanates from the nozzle orifice at a temperature of 16,700 degrees Celsius. So this is a very high temperature and it creates a narrow constricted arc pattern. So here it emanates and creates a narrow constricted arc pattern which provides excellent directional control and produces a very favorable depth to width weld profile. So friends, as I told earlier, the outer nozzle consists the shielding gas, and as usual the shielding gas covers the area of arc plasma or the molten weld pool to avoid contamination of the welding. So this is how a torch of a plasma arc welding looks. Now some important terms which are used in plasma arc welding is this torch standoff distance. Torch standoff distance is nothing but the distance between the outer face of the constricting nozzle. This outer face of the constricting nozzle and the workpiece. This distance is called as torch standoff distance. See, here you can see the workpiece distance and this nozzle tip distance. Now one more term which is used is electrode setback. This electrode setback is nothing but the distance between the tip of the electrode and the face of the constricting nozzle. This is known as tip of the electrode and the face of the constricting nozzle. This is known as the electrode setback. And finally we have one more term, plenum chamber. So this term is nothing but the space. This is space between the electrode and the inside wall, the inner chamber. This chamber is known as plenum chamber, where this orifice gas are supplied. So friends, now we have understood somewhat the working principles, so we'll move to the equipment. The equipments which are used for plasma arc welding are power source. Second one is welding torch. Third one is plasma control console. This one is also called as the heart of the plasma arc welding, plasma control console, and it controls very important features of the plasma arc welding. Fourth one is the gases, orifice gas and shielding gas. Then coolant. This is torch coolant. It cools the torch. Again, in welding torch we have one electrode. So electrode and filler metal. And finally, some accessories such as remote control, gas flow meter, and on-off switch. So these are the equipments mostly used in plasma arc welding. I'll discuss everything about these equipments in brief. See, power source. The power source which we use in plasma arc welding is constant current power source, and it is very important because it gives the power supply, and we use a constant current power source. Welding torch, as I show you the diagram earlier, in welding torch it should be capable enough to hold the electrode, the orifice gas, and the shielding gas. Then we have plasma control console. As I told you earlier that it is the heart of the plasma arc welding. And why it is the heart of the plasma arc welding? Because it controls some important parameters. That is, it controls the plasma gas flow. Secondly, it controls the shielding gas flow. And thirdly, it also controls the pilot arc current. The initial current is called as pilot arc. The initial arc is called as pilot arc. So it controls the pilot arc current also. Now we'll talk about the gases. As I told you earlier, that two gases are used, orifice gas and shielding gas. So it can be the same. The orifice gas and the shielding gas can be the same, or it can be different, depending upon the it depends on three things. First one is welding position. Second one is joint configuration, and the third one is base metal. So these three terms are very important in selecting the orifice gas and shielding gas. Now I'll tell you a little bit more about the orifice gas and shielding gas. Orifice gas, shielding gas. Which gases are used as orifice and which gases are used as shielding gas? So for orifice gas, normally we use argon, or we use a mixture of argon plus hydrogen. These two are the preferred orifice gases. And for shielding gas, we use argon or mixture of argon plus hydrogen, or a mixture of argon plus helium. So these are the inert gases. And in shielding gases, we can use an active gas also. That active gas is carbon dioxide. So carbon dioxide can also be used as shielding gas in plasma arc welding. One more thing I would like to tell you about the gas flow rate of shielding gas. So for orifice gas, the gas flow rate is between 0.1 liter per minute to 5 liter per minute. So this should be the flow rate of the orifice gas. And for shielding gas, the flow rate shall be between 5 liter per minute to 15 liter per minute for low current application. For high current application, it can be between 15 liters per minute to 32 liters per minute. So these are the gas flow rate. Now friends, we talked about the gases. Now coolant is used to cool the torch, And electrode, we use tungsten electrode, and that tungsten can be mixed with slightly bit mixed with thorium or thallium or cerium. And filler metal specification is same as TIG welding filler metal specification. So these are something about the equipments. Now I'll tell you one more important term, and that term is arc mode. Whenever we discuss plasma arc welding, this arc mode is very important. Two types of arc mode are used in plasma arc welding. First one is transferred arc mode. Transferred arc mode. And the second one is non-transferred arc mode. Non-transferred arc mode. So what is the difference between transferred arc mode and non-transferred arc mode? To explain the difference, I will show you the torch diagram once again. See, in transferred arc mode, one terminal of the power source, preferably negative terminal of the electrode source is connected with the electrode. Negative terminal of the power source is connected with the electrode, and the positive terminal is connected with the workpiece. Hence, the workpiece becomes a part of the electric circuit. Wherever in non-transferred arc mode, one terminal as usual is connected with the electrode, but the other terminal, instead of connecting with the workpiece, other terminal is connected with the nozzle. Other terminal is connected with the nozzle. Hence, this workpiece doesn't become a part of the electric circuit. So this is the difference between the arc mode. Now we have understood the arc mode, working principle and equipment. So finally we will move to the advantages and disadvantages of plasma arc welding. Advantages and disadvantages. So friends, as I told you that it produces constricted arc, and that constricted arc is narrow and very focused. Hence it provides high heat concentration. High heat concentration. So this is one of the most biggest advantages of plasma arc welding. High heat concentration in smaller area. Secondly, it gives deeper penetration. Deeper penetration. Third advantage is less current input. Less current input as compared to other welding processes. The fourth advantage is we can achieve very faster travel speed. Faster travel speed. The fifth advantage is less heat affected zone. Less heat affected zone. Since it produces very focused constricted arc, hence the heat affected zone area remains less as compared to TIG welding or other welding processes. And finally, it is more stable. More stable and does not get deflected from base metal. So these are some of the advantages of plasma arc welding. Now we'll talk something about the disadvantages. Its first disadvantage is its costly equipment. Hence the startup cost is very high. Costly equipments are very costly, hence the startup cost is very high. The second disadvantage is safety. Plasma arc welding produces some harmful radiations. Hence safety concerns are always there. The third disadvantage is plasma arc welding is very noisy. It's a noisy process. And finally, the fourth disadvantage is high skilled operator is required. The welder must be skilled one. Then only we can achieve good welding. So these are some of the advantages and disadvantages of plasma arc welding. Friends, please comment about the quality and content of the video, and also please hit the like button and share this video with your friend and colleagues too. Thank you very much.